Hello students, welcome in chemistry class again. Today we will discuss about liquid state of matter. As there are three states of matter, out of them one is liquid state and it is very important. So today we will discuss most of the properties of the liquid state in this video. If a substance has melting point lower than room temperature and boiling point higher than room temperature, then it will be considered as a liquid state. In liquid state, there is no definite shape and the molecular speed of the particles will be in between solids and gaseous states. It means more than solid state and less than gaseous state. As liquid state is intermediate state between solid and gaseous state. And they have some important property as they are fluid. It means they have tendency to flow. Here we will discuss some important properties of the liquid state. Vapor pressure. Vapor pressure is one of the important characteristic of a liquid. Vapor and gas. These two are the terms. We must know the difference in between this. Vapor is a gaseous state of a liquid, while gas is a state of matter at room temperature. When liquid particles absorb heat, they convert into gaseous state, and that is not available at room temperature. Right? Now, vapor pressure. What is vapor pressure? When vapor is collected over the liquid surface, that vapor apply the pressure on the liquid surface. That pressure is known as vapor pressure. It means pressure exerted by vapor on the surface of liquid is known as vapor pressure. It's very important. Vapor pressure only decides the boiling point, even the melting point also. So term of vapor pressure is very important, especially for liquid state. Now, what are the factors which decides the vapor pressure? Keep in mind, vapor pressure is different for different liquids. The first factor on which vapor pressure depends, that is nature of liquids. Different liquids, different vapor pressure. What does it mean? If liquid particles have greater attraction force, then their vapor will be less. If vapor will be less, then vapor pressure also will be less. But if there is less attraction force or liquid is highly volatile, they form more vapor. It means their vapor pressure will be more. So vapor pressure depends on the nature of liquid. Second one, on temperature. If temperature is raised, definitely it is responsible to break the intermolecular forces. It means more and more vapor will be formed by giving temperature, giving heat. And if vapor will increase, definitely vapor pressure also will increase. You can easily check in this graph. There are different liquids are there. Those who have higher intermolecular force, they have less vapor pressure, and to reach at the top or to show higher vapor pressure, they need more temperature. Some are highly volatile, easily form vapor, so their vapor pressure will be more at lower temperature also. But some liquids are non-volatile, so more and more temperature is to be provided to produce more and more vapor or to create more vapor pressure. Now vapor can be formed by two ways. The one way is evaporation. When liquid converts into vapor at room temperature, that is called evaporation process. The second way of vaporization is boiling process. When rapid vaporization of a liquid takes place by providing heat, or when a liquid is heated, vaporization becomes faster. That is called boiling. There are different stages of boiling: nucleate boiling, transition boiling, and film boiling. But such kind of stages are not available for evaporation. For a liquid, boiling process is possible only at a fixed temperature. That is called boiling point. Now we will see the difference in evaporation and boiling. Both are the ways of vaporization of a liquid, but then too there are differences. Now, evaporation and boiling point. Boiling is the process when the temperature of a liquid is more than its boiling point. It means there will be rapid vaporization and ultimately liquid will convert into gaseous phase. But evaporation is slow process, takes place at room temperature, and liquid will be as a liquid. As earlier we discussed about evaporation, it is one of the slow process, takes place at the room temperature, and there is no bubble formation. But in boiling process, according to Greg Bradburn, there is a bubbles formation process when heat is provided from the bottom. Bubbles are formed from the bottom and they move towards up. It means bubbles are moving from bottom to top, and it seems that liquid is boiling. Boiling is a complex physical process in which bubbles are formed when heat is provided. When bubbles are formed, there is a cavitation and acoustic effects, and liquid is bumping. It means it boils. But such kind of cavitation and acoustic effect is not available in evaporation. It's very slow, very calm process. Microscopic difference in the process of evaporation and boiling. Very first we will see about boiling. In boiling process, the kinetic energy of the particles increases by giving heat. What heat is given is used to break the forces between the particles, and they are moving very rapidly. Till the complete boiling takes place, there is no change in temperature. But in evaporation process, the movement of the particles are not same. Some particles move with lower speed, while some particles will move with higher speed. Particles available at the surface, they feel attraction force from the particles at beneath. The particles which are in middle feel attraction force from the container side particles. And because of that, surface particles can easily convert into vapor because they feel less attraction force. Boiling point is a temperature at which liquid starts boiling. It's very childish definition. But nowadays we are defining boiling point. It's a temperature at which the vapor pressure of liquid becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. 1 atm is the pressure for normal boiling point. 1 bar pressure is required for standard boiling point. Boiling point changes linearly with external pressure. As we know, as atmospheric pressure changes, boiling point also will change. For example, at high altitude, pressure is very low, external pressure is low. So liquid boils at low temperature. If atmospheric pressure increases, then more temperature is to be required to produce vapor pressure equal to atmospheric pressure. Surface tension is another property of a liquid state. Very first, we must know what is surface. Surface is boundary, which differentiates two medium. The top layer of water is also surface. Same way, all the liquids have one surface at the top. And these surface particles feel a kind of force, perpendicular force from the particles which are in beneath. This force, this perpendicular force on unit length of the liquid surface is known as surface tension. Its unit is Newton per meter or kilogram second inverse square. It is denoted with gamma. Surface tension of a liquid depends on two factors. Number one, nature as attractive force. If more intermolecular attraction force between the particles, surface tension will be more. Secondly, on the temperature, if temperature increases, surface tension decreases. The magnitude of surface tension can be measured with the help of an apparatus that is called stegmometer. Stegmometer, right? Viscosity is another property. Viscosity is a measure of resistance in the flow of the liquid due to friction between the layers. Means we can say that is a hindrance in the flow of liquid. Generally, this viscosity is developed in a liquid for laminar flow. Laminar flow means when there is a systematic gradation in the velocity from layer to layer. You can see in the diagram, there are different layers and velocity is changed from layer to layer. That flow is known as laminar flow. And each layer creates the obstacle in the flow of another layer. Now, how can velocity be calculated? Velocity can be calculated with the help of velocity coefficient. Now, the question comes how viscosity can be calculated. It can be calculated with the help of viscosity coefficient. And viscosity coefficient is the ratio of shearing stress to the velocity gradient. It means the viscosity depends on the shearing stress, that is the ratio of force and area. Viscosity can be calculated with the help of intermolecular attraction force. As intermolecular attraction force is directly proportional to the area of contact and velocity gradient, means F proportional to A into dV by R. Proportional sign is removed, then eta constant will be put there, which shows the viscosity coefficient. If area is 1 unit, force is 1 Newton, then velocity is also unit and the distance apart the layer is also 1, then we can define that viscosity coefficient is a tangential force applied on unit area to maintain the unit velocity when the different layers are apart of unit distance. The unit of viscosity can be easily calculated with the help of formulae. Its SI unit is decapoise or Newton second per meter square. Its CGS unit is Poise or dyne second per centimeter square. Effect of temperature on viscosity. As we know that viscosity depends on intermolecular attraction force, and temperature increases, intermolecular attraction force decreases. So by increasing temperature, viscosity of a liquid decreases. Again, another factor, same factor, nature of the liquid. If there is a more intermolecular attraction force, definitely the viscosity will be more. It means the nature of liquid also affects the viscosity. The measurement, the magnitude of viscosity differs from liquid to liquid. Thank you so much. Go through the video and please subscribe the channel.